Hello from Bugeyeguy. Check this out, a Bugeye called Phoenix, which we recently sold to Caitlyn Jenner. So it's kind of fun to work with Caitlyn to get this car together. The car is particularly significant for her because her dad had a Bugeye Sprite when Bruce was 15 and sold it when before Bruce turned 16, and he never got a chance to drive it. So this is going to be Dad's Sprite. It's a tribute car for that whole part of Caitlyn's life, and we're not sure yet. We're just starting to mock this up. We'll work on some different letter styles, but this will be hand script painted back here, Dad's Sprite, and we'll work on some different sizing and lettering styles for that so we get something truly nice and custom. But we've got quite a bit of work to do to make this car up to a high standard, which is our goal. We want to put on new bumper overriders and a performance exhaust. We're going to do some work to the paint to bring that up a few notches. We've already got the powder coating going for the trim here and a new powder coated windshield. There was a scratch in the windshield. And these are all things that I've discussed with Caitlyn to make this car really into her dream car, and also to make it a higher quality example of what the Bugeyes represented. We knew going in this was not a stock car. It has, of course, these painted wheels and a flip forward nose, but we wanted to make some concessions to originality, and we will remove this dashboard and recover it, replace it with all the correct factory gauges. So that'll be a big piece of this project that'll unfold in the coming weeks. These will be powder coated, these trim pieces. We know we had a scratch in the glass here, so we'll replace all of that. Under the hood, we've got a great package of performance going in, a super nice supercharger, and all in all, this will be a stunning car. I'll show you some of the mountain of products that will go into this car to make it ready to ship to Los Angeles, to Caitlyn's new home. So here's quite an array of parts all laid out for Caitlyn Jenner's Bugeye project, and just to show you some of what we're going to do, these are some brand new rear overriders to get a great chrome finish. Of course, these get tapped over time and you usually end up with some small dings, so we'll restart the clock with those and put some nice new reproductions on. This is a sway bar that'll help improve the handling. Of course, all the pieces to hold that on. Here's the alternator kit that will go on and improve the bearings are far superior in this whole mechanism to what you would get with an original generator, and that car will also put in an electronic Mark I tack, so that will speak to the generator. There's the fan. Here's a brushed stainless racing mirror, a little bit, I think, more in keeping with where this car is headed. A more powerful air horn, a new distributor. So many of these have worn bushings. They've covered such a lot of long life, and this also starts that out at 0 again with all new bushings in here, plus electronic ignition. We've got some new lever shocks that are fresh, rebuilt lever shocks, so important to the ride quality for a Bugeye. We've got a new panel kit because there was carpeting on the back. These are the panels that go right behind your shoulder, or your kidneys for that matter, on the back behind the door of the car, and so we'll have a whole new kit of those. Here's a dashboard which we've welded up and prepared. We've gotten rid of all the incorrect holes. So you have, your washer pump hole and your wipers and your ignition switch, the correct ignition switch, turn signals, heater, starter and choke, tack and speedo, and of course this is for the steering column and the indicator for the blinkers and the fuel gauge and the grab handle out here. So it's so common for these to get drilled unnecessarily. We will weld them back flat and restore them, and then this nice piece of black vinyl goes on, and that will of course match the panel kit. So quite a lot of work will go into this dashboard restoration. That's, as I said earlier, I think the largest part of the project, but it's a great result, and well worth it. We love to bring these dashboards back to stock because so many of them have been reconfigured by people along the way. Here are the powder coated trim pieces which we've restored for this project, so we'll mount those, and again, that's another very satisfying part of this job, these these door trim tops get destroyed over 50 years of scratches from wedding rings and side curtains, so now they're immaculately encased in the powder-coated finish. Here's the supercharger and a brand new SU carburetor mounted to that. This is the wrong air filter, but we'll modify that to get it to fit, but that's how it comes to us. And this blower is really a nice addition. Of course, getting it to fit is where the magic happens, and we've done a number of those, and we'll work on that. Here's the heat shield for the blower. Here's our special twin-tip muffler, which has what we feel is just the right note. It's not too loud, but it definitely evokes a period Anza exhaust from when so many of us grew up with sports cars that sounded great. And an aluminum radiator as well. That will go into the setup to keep the car cool, along with a 6-bladed fan. Here's the exhaust header, a really beautiful piece. These are a little tricky to fit, but that's something we'll do here. We have to move the engine quite a bit to get that in. And a flip-up Aston fuel cap, which I can't quite get with one hand, but there it is. It flips open, and much, much prettier, I think, than the original type, a little racier. And there's a locking cap that goes inside, but much more in keeping with a supercharged and modified car. So all in all, we have quite an array of bits to add to this car and make a special Bugeye for Caitlyn Jenner, which we'll be building in the coming weeks here at Bugeyeguy.com.